Hi friends, your pal Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Daggerheart, and I'm going to talk about something I absolutely love in Daggerheart, and that is domains. And okay, so just real quick, um, I absolutely despise the release of Daggerheart. It caused me a lot of frustration and agitation, but that was a brief moment in time, and I am falling in love with Daggerheart. I absolutely love this game in a lot of ways. I just clutch the physical product. I'm constantly carrying around like a kid with a blanket, just trying to master the rule set and getting ready for my first campaigns. And it's a banger. It is a very serious, very real, cool, very cool game, right? And you're like, well, wait a second, Scott, is it a game? I guess it is a game. I don't, I haven't seen anything at this point, and that's a huge difference, right? Like, so, Dungeons and Dragons, not a game, in my humble opinion. Uh, Daggerheart, probably a game, right? And that I'm gonna have to wrap my brain around that, right? Because, and I think, well, Scott, why would you waste your time, working on something that is, um, on something that is a game when you have something that's not a game? Well, the biggest thing is, I actually think, yeah, that's a really good question, and I'm going to tell you the exact answer. So I really think, what's really fascinating is that is a really good. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is not just defined by Dungeons and Dragons. It absolutely is defined by its competitors, and it's like an ocean, right? When that wave comes across it, it changes Dungeons and Dragons, and when Dungeons and Dragons makes a move, it definitely changes the OSR and the indie, right? And like the OGL Crisis, like completely transformed three companies: Critical Role, um, Cobble Press, and MCDM. Like, they all announced brand new tabletop role playing games just because there was like a fissure in Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like, there's no way, like, it's just the way it is. All right. So I want to talk about domains. Man, this is one of the coolest things that Spenser Starke put into Daggerheart. It is absolutely brilliant, and I think it really might change tabletop role playing games forever. And so domains already existed within Dungeons and Dragons. Domains were specifically like domains covered schools of magic for clerics, right? Like, so basically wizards had schools of evocation and conjuring and like different schools of magic, right? And domain was the same thing for clerics, right? It covered the same territory that schools covered for wizards. But Spenser Starke comes in, and it is Spenser Starke's. He owns this, right? So I have blamed Spenser Starke for everything I hated in Daggerheart, but I'm going to give his flowers for this brilliant thing he put into Daggerheart. All right, so let's get there. So domains. The biggest thing that he did was he said domains go across every class. Brilliant. Like, the idea that domains just don't cover magic users, but they cover everything. And so, like, a perfect example of this is the warrior. The warrior's domain are bone and blade, right? Dedicating yourself to the edge, right? The edge of cut metal, right? And that could be an arrow, it could be a sword, it could be a dagger, right? But blade, right? Like, I am dedicating my life to understanding weapons that sever limbs, weapons that sever heads, weapons that sever life, right? And as a domain, right? Like a discipline that you are dedicating yourself to your entire life. Bone, right? My body is going to be strong, and I'm going to learn how to make my body stronger and stronger and faster, and then I'm going to dedicate myself to finding every weak point on your body so I can break it, right? Like, that is like, and so there you have a completely non-magical class, but it has two domains, and then you can attach powers to each one of those domains. You can attach foundations to each of those domains, and you could attach. So what did they attach to each of the domains? Actually, no, I guess they attached those to the class. They had foundations, skills, and masteries, right? And I think there's also abilities in there, right? But this idea that domains are areas of dedication, areas of devotion, that's even a better word. Areas of devotion, I love that. And D&D had this idea that clerics would logically be devoted to certain things, which is brilliant, right? But the idea that, non-magical classes could be devoted to specific domains, and then those domains do not need to be magical. All of that is absolutely brilliant. And honestly, I don't think going forward anybody won't deal with domains in tabletop role-playing games in games that matter. I really think this is a brilliant freaking, like, feats. Like when they put in feats, that's stuck, right? And you see so many games, and even games that didn't go to a 5e template, still were dealing with feats in different ways, or just or dealing with feats, or having feats in their game but renaming it, right? Really, really fascinating, right? So I thought that was absolutely brilliant. The other thing that I thought was absolutely brilliant was the idea, the class circle and the domain circle, right? And so this is actually printed on a full page in the book, and they have all the classes in a circle, and then each class shares domains with another class. This is absolutely brilliant, and is a very cool look at how all of the classes are related, but related in different ways. And I thought that was shockingly brilliant. I just thought that was so smart, and just extremely well done. I am extremely impressed with domains. I really think it's one of the coolest things to come out of Daggerheart. Spenser, Starke, brilliant, extremely like it's an industry changing aspect. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.